unboxing this. It's me, Zane, along with Inflict here, joining you on this game of today between CCG Esports versus Base Masters. And we are getting to the end games of this season 52, and the current standing doesn't look too well for CCG Inflict.
It certainly does not. There are not a lot of games left to be played here. There were 14 in total, and CCG have gone through 9 of them. The current stat line is 3 wins and 6 losses. They're going to need to pull together quite a few of these next few matches in order to make it into the playoffs. And right now, it's not looking that great. We will be heading on to a new map for this season, which is going to be Inferno. They have played it once before. Unfortunately, that did not pan out so well, but it's something that they don't tend to play as often. There is also, I believe, a substitute being called in. Icarus, unfortunately, is not going to be playing today, so Colin is stepping in instead. And Base Masters, a little bit about them. They are currently sitting with 4 wins, 5 losses. They also don't tend to play Inferno quite a lot. They have twice in this season so far, and well, both of them ended in a loss as well. So both of these teams not as experienced on the map, not and the experience that they do have didn't exactly pan out so well. So one of them is going to get handed their first Inferno win of the season today.
Yeah, seems like that is going to be the case. So with one sub CCG, they're gonna have to play a little safer than usual. Last time they played on this map, they had, I believe, who's getting subbed, if I take a look correctly. I think it's going to be Icarus. So Icarus not playing. Okay, yeah, you mentioned it. I am kind of having a lag moment there, but it's Icarus not playing, and was the only one who was having a great game, to be honest. Who was having such a positive scoreline, even in the games that CCG have lost in the last one, and even in the ones that they won. Icarus was the MVP, I believe. So not having him should put a decent impact, but it doesn't matter as long as they can win this game out. It all should be good. And for the time being, we can see that the C4 is already planted down all the way towards the B site. That is a good execution here. We do have a slight bit of technical issue, I believe, which is gonna be resolved pretty soon. But it was a B entry, and it's a 3v3 retake, and it all of a sudden it turns into a 2 versus 0, which means CCG are going to be taking the pistol round. And as always, Inflict, whenever you take the pistol round, it always feels better. And CCG have a good start to begin the game, and I believe, in Inferno, which is a very CT sided map, you win the pistol round on T side, and you secure a few rounds on the T side. That will be really, really good going into the second half.
Of course, as many rounds as you can win, it's certainly going to be helpful, regardless of the sides. But yes, Inferno being a CD-sided map, it seems like base masters are going to try to play off of the fact that it is such a defense side map, and so far it's a one-on-one trade to kick things off. A force purchase coming out for base masters, an SMG, a scout, and 2 deagles across the board for them to work with. One diffuse kit online in the hands of Fate as well. And CCG, they're moving closer and closer to the B side. Fate, he's just behind the pillar, gets one, looking for more, delivers a headshot. One bullet in the magazine is going to get traded out before he can even use it. And CCG are now already down to just 2 players. The bomb has been dropped as well. There's a pinch coming in, a player hitting them from the flank. But the rest of the squad is going to have to try and hold this down. Kaneki barely gets out of that alive. The Molotov comes in, and the player towards the flank is going to have to be a key player. Mantis gets one, looking to find the second. Won't be able to do so, but now it's all come down to Fearless Beetle. 1 versus 2. A Galil in the hands of Kaneki, and he finds the headshot to confirm the frag, and Base Masters strike right back after losing the pistol.
Yeah, that's a perfectly played bonus round there from the side of base masters there. And I believe there was a bit of a, again, misplays coming in. Kraken somehow ended up damaging Fearless Beetle there quite a lot, and they weren't checking their backs either. It's always the sides or the backs that if you don't check properly or if you're not communicating with your team properly, like, hey, I'm watching banana, you watch behind, you watch the flank, and then somebody will just always be there to be a menace. And again, mid rush coming in this time around, it's gonna be from mid, one in front, one in back, and look at that, ZQ is gonna be able to go forward. He's gonna be able to take two. He takes the third as well, and then he is gonna be taken out. Having a little bit of a face it bug today to not making things any better for us with this, but so far it looks like CCG are gonna be losing their eco round as well. They were managed to take 3 members down that round, by the way, and almost killing one of them, getting Mantis down to 4 HP, meaning that was not a bad eco round. And as long as you can take a few members down on the eco round, that helps you a little bit to burn the economy from the CT side. And once you start burning the economy of CT side, all you have to do is just win a few rounds, and CT, it feels so hard to recover from there on. It feels like, you're getting a debt that you can't pay anymore.
Yeah, having no lost one is stacked up as well. It should make things quite a bit easier if CCG can pull it around together. That is, so far it's not gonna happen. They're still working around with just pistols, and all of them just fall one after the other. Colin did find a frag, but that's all she wrote for CCG. That's gonna be third on board for Base Masters. What started out as a comfortable map from seemingly from the pistol round has turned out to be quite the opposite of that. Base Masters really running this through right now. They were able to keep 4 players alive as well. That allows them to save a bit of money. Kaneki sitting on that 7K already. The rest of the squad, they have a decent chunk, except only one player. But CCG, their first rifle round coming on board here. And still, a couple of players had to go for a bit of a compromise to Galil's 3 AKs to work with. A lot of the util try and hold down Banana. They've taken some control already. The flash allowing them to push through. It's a one-on-one trade to kick things off, but Fearless Beetle provides a great entry. He's gotten two. Now looking for more. Mantis gets the trade. He needs to hold this back, hold this place down. Now help arriving as well. AKB is going to join him real soon. Tag down to 17 HP, and CCG are moving all the way back. ZGQ or towards the A side. He's going to get challenged soon by the hands of Kraken. And timing's going to be everything here. Oh, he spots the head. He spots the head. Should be an easy frag, and he gets it. That's going to leave only two behind. They were relying on Kraken to anchor them onto the site. Unfortunately, he falls. So now they're going to have to make their way onto the site through a tad bit more hurdles than they had probably preferred, of course.
The round
Slowly.
has slowed down a little bit. Oh,
Spotted as well. They're gonna make their way in. That's gonna fasten up the process of rotation, but still gonna find one more headshot before going down the CT sided player. Now a 1 versus 2. AK Beast and Mantis against Treehead. He's gotten one. And now it comes down to a 1v1 here now. Bomb planted. Has absolutely no information whatsoever to work with, and Mantis is tagged down to just 17 HP as well. No information, hasn't spotted out Treehead. Gets the headshot, a nice little flick. And Treehen falls. The defuse kit available in hand doesn't even matter realistically. The bomb just got planted, and that's going to be the 4th on board for Base Masters.
yeah, that was a good round played by CCG there. I mean, they had some good moments there, but losing a few extra members to try and take that banana control is just always doesn't seem to be working out. What I like to do in Inferno when you're playing on the terrorist side is play for information, spread out throughout the entire map, send 1 or 2 men to banana, send a few to take the apps control towards the A, and get the information on where the enemies are. Try to play together, and it's all about taking those trades, because I mean, yeah, sure, Inferno can be a map where the rotations can happen quick between A and B. The map is very short, but like guarding B with fewer men is very possible. but if you don't get something done, then it's not gonna happen this time around. If CCG, even though they're ecoed out, they're gonna be able to just rush in through the site. It takes 3 member down, but all of a sudden it's gonna be a good stop, good defense by base masters to get them another round, even though it was looking promising for CCG for quite some time there, but it just doesn't happen once again. Again, the trades are not coming through, not coming through properly, at least. So it's something that we gotta see, and we gotta need to work on, because otherwise the T side play is just not gonna happen nicely if you don't get the proper trades. Now they have lost 5 rounds. CCG have only picked up one. I was expecting at least 2 or 3 rounds since they won the pistol round, and then they just needed to win one throughout the entire first half of the game. And 4 rounds seems to be the safe place to be when you start out on the terrorist side. But now, how things are going, it's gonna be tough. Another buy round for CCG, and this should be the round where they should be turning things around. And I'm expecting a scoreline to be 5-2, and then take a few rounds away from there. But if they can't do it now, then I feel like it's gonna be a pretty one-sided first half.
So far, it's seemingly set up to be one. Quite a slow approach from CCG. They do have the man advantage, but that's going to get equalized out courtesy of AKBs. The man with the op. Quite a contradictory name there, but gets the frags. He gets the frags. Not this time, though. Kaneki is going to find Colin, but it's still a 3 versus 3. Free hand went out the op battle, and that's going to open up the A side. ZGQ, he was able to find 2 frags last time around. He was in the corner. He does so again. Traded, but the damage has already been done. Trehan now in a 1 versus 2. Another one. Last time around, Mantis was the one who put him down. This time around, it's going to be Kaneki that delivers the final blow. That's going to be the 6th on board for Base Masters. There's absolutely no break that CCG are getting. They constantly are finding 2 to 3 frags in every single one of these rounds, but they just cannot seem to push through the finish line and get the round on board. The only victory they've had so far has been the pistol round, so they've lost 6 rounds in a row ever since, regardless of the fact that they've had about two full rifle rounds. They've had ops online as well. Just nothing seems to be going their way.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna be able to afford this round as well, CCG, so that should be something to look for. Again, the same thing. When you're playing on the terrorist side, the economy doesn't seem to be that bothersome. So CCG, they're able to afford weapons. They're able to bring out some rifle rounds, but even so, it just doesn't feel good after that. The rifle rounds are there, but what do you do with these rifles? They get the frags, but frags aren't nearly enough to win you rounds, especially on Inferno, because you need to take sides. CCG were able to open up the site only once.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Regardless of the fact, I mean, they've gotten close. They've gotten the bomb down quite a few times. It's just that by the time that they do that, they're already at such a drastic disadvantage that they are not able to conclude the round out in their favor. AK Beast, a great start for him, finds 2 with the Tech 9. But Jenny's going to retaliate. The Galil comes into the play and evens out the odds. You need to pick up the op and crack, and he's going to find the opener towards the A site as well. Finally, the kill that they had been looking for is EGQ out towards the A side. The anchor finally works out, and Jenny finds another. Mantis falls, and that's going to leave Fate behind, all on zone against 3. CCG, they have absolutely no information where he is. They're going to have to test this out on all on their own. Jenny is barely surviving right now. The respiratory functions somehow keeping up with 5 HP. They're going to get the bomb down with no problem whatsoever. The money is still tight for base masters. So props to CCG for making sure that department is never too flourishing for the side of Base Master. So they're going to struggle quite a bit if they lose this round, and they likely are going to. The Fuse get picked up, but immediately taken out as well. Fate falls to the hands of Kraken. 3K for Jenny, a big round coming out from the two fellows to get the second on board for CCG.
That is a very much needed round for CCG. As I mentioned before, we just need to get 3 or 4 more rounds for CCG to four at least four in the terrorist side, and then I'd feel like safe. And Face It is giving us a bit of trouble today. Apologies for that. But we should be heading back in, and we are in now. 6 to scoreline. They're looking towards the B push once again, and I like this from CCG. Taking that banana control is very important. That opens up the map a lot for you because you constantly have to make sure you have 2 persons guarding that B site, not knowing when they will rush in, where, and how many of them will rush in. Because when it's a banana rush, you need at least 3 to 4 members and a few utilities to stop them from happening. But you exhaust the utilities to try and like let them taking the banana control at the very beginning of the round. Looks like it's gonna be an execution. They have the smokes, mollies, everything's ready. Everything's gonna be put down. They're entering towards the site right now. Flashes will blind them, but still a good positioning from all of the members of Base Masters, and they're gonna be going inside finally with the flash. Mantis is gonna be able to take a double, triple, and Colin, he finds double for himself as well, as it's down to him and Kraken, and they're gonna be able to equalize the points. Colin finds a triple there for CCG, and it's always one person popping off like this. Colin finds a 4K. It might be a potential ace for him to win CCG their third round. Colin still surviving, has a health. He's gonna try to spray, and that's gonna be the ace for Colin to win the round out for CCG, their third for them. And what a wonderful play by Colin there.
Absolutely fantastic. The player who's replacing Icarus for the day, who quite honestly has been the most consistent player so far, statistically speaking, at the very least, of course, on the side of CCG, and he delivers just when they needed him to the most. The economy now completely broken over for Base Masters. This should be a relatively easier round for CCG to win, close out, but the last time around there was an eco. Well, it was sort of a forced purchase where CCG ended up losing the round, so hopefully history does not repeat itself. But Kaneki, he seemingly is looking to walk on that trajectory yet again. Got on a headshot already. His teammates looking for more, but unfortunately they get denied. Two of them make that three, and as they go down to the hands of Kraken and Colin, making their way onto the side, the bomb should go down with ease, leaving Mantis and Kaneki to retaliate. And SMG did get picked up, but courtesy of the frag that Kaneki got, but Mantis, he stuck towards library, not range. And SMG is going to be good at for that fight, especially if his beetle shuts him down. That's going to leave Kaneki with a deagle all on his own up against 4 players. And then realistically, the round's done and dusted. CCG, they put up their fourth. And they've somehow managed to pull this half together while being down 1-6. It looked like it could have been a really big disadvantage heading into the second half, but they pulled together their mistakes, they readjust, and now are just sitting with a 2 round deficit.
Love to see that comeback happening. It's always wonderful to see that going for CCG. I mean, it is again a very CT-sided map in my opinion. So if they can get at least 1 or 2 more rounds, that's gonna be really really good for them. And the money reserve doesn't look good for Base Masters. So if only CCG are able to win this one, they should be able to easily secure the last one. And this time it's gonna be a rush through mid. AK Beast again, not working according to his name, but he's gonna be able to do wonderful. He is a beast, but not with an AK, but M4. He's gonna get one, immediately traded out. Not a good trade for CCG there as they lose one more member. Flashes come through, and we're again having the similar issue. But I
Nice
think it's
shots.
gonna be a disaster. Ooh, and it's over.
Mantis getting the final two, putting Base Masters back into the driving seat, and they guarantee themselves at least a 2 round lead heading into the next half, and that should be pretty good. Not great, but of course they do have the chance to increase this lead further to 4 rounds if they can close out this final one. Both of the sides are going to have a full purchase to work with all across the board. No ops online, but all preferable rifles everywhere and util stacked as well. This is as stacked around as it could be, except for ops, of course. CCG are gonna have to really put up a fight to get that 5th round on board. Base Masters, they're not gonna contest Banana as much this time around. Mostly, they've actually given up most of the space without letting a lot of util go to waste. They instead tend to prefer fighting at the choke point, and oftentimes it has worked out for them as well. But CCG, they're not gonna go wide this time around. They walk back, trying to hit the A side where 3 CTs await them. First point of contact is gonna be Kraken, and he goes down. AKBs to keep Fate cover. That's gonna allow them to find a frag onto Jenny. No trades coming through for CCG, and they're already on a fast run towards the B side. All three of them already making their way across Banana. They're trying to head into the side, but Mantis keeps them at bay. Kaneki gonna follow up. Last one alive is gonna be Trehan, and he too shall fall. A flawless 8th round victory to confirm a 4 round lead heading into the second half for Base Masters.
Things cannot get any. I mean, any any worse than that, to be honest. For CCG, they haven't had the wonderful season. They haven't had the good um, start to many things, but now at least they get a decent. I would call this a decent half on the first half. So on the on the CT side now, things should be going good for them. But a lot of it depends on this pistol round. If you know now current situation of CS2, if you lose the pistol round on CT side, it just feels like 2 or 3 rounds slipping away from your hands, and the economy doesn't recover on its own. It, you have to work really hard for that. Jenny goes forward, not finding anybody there, but on the verge of getting back, he's gonna be caught on. Fate finds another one. Treehan is gonna be able to take one there with dual Beretta. The firepower is there, but this time he's only gonna be able to deal some damage. Not very lethal though. They both survive. Colin comes in, again finds another headshot. Colin's been superb this game, playing wonderful as a super sub. It's a 3v2 retake, very much doable right now for CCG, but they need to find frags. Oh, Fearless Beetle finds a head, chips in a headshot there. They know where the last one is. Fearless Beetle, he can't find that head. He's dealing some damage, and gonna go for a direct defuse here, but Colin gets taken out. Now it's all down to Fearless Beetle, who's gonna be in a 2 versus 1, and he's gonna be taken down slow. A poisonous death for him, and that's gonna be the 9th round on board for Base Masters, and now it is looking bad, very bad for CCG.
Yeah, certainly. They're gonna try to replicate what Base Masters were able to pull off in the last round, in the last half. Go for a force. Hope the positioning works out as Inferno is predominantly heavily CT sided, but it's not always that can work out in your favor, especially with such a big arsenal deficit. It's going to be 2 rifles, 2 SMGs for Base Master, likely a third on SMG, third rifle on board, possibly a Galil in the hands of Kaneki. While on the other hand, CCG, they're still playing around with the fact if they want to go for a force or not. Seems like 4 of them have already committed, and Jenny is the last one to go. 3 5.7s, 2 SMGs, a bit of util across the board, 1 defuse kit online as well. CCG, they're really putting a lot on the line. If they lose this, they will be conceding double digits. That's not a good place to be when you've only won 4 rounds. Comeback is going to be quite a tall task from there. So they're really relying on this win. 3 players to defend the A site, and all of them playing to a similar position with to what Base Masters had for the most of it, but they're going to go back. They're feeling the pressure a little bit, so they're going to ask for one more player to back them up. That's now 4 players to hold down the A site. And the read actually might just work out. Base Masters hitting the site, clearing corners one by one as they go on. Freehand spotted out. Fearless Beetle first to fall. Two of the teammates they're gonna follow very quickly. Treehand and Kraken did find a frag each, but got immediately traded out, and hence it's all gonna come down to Colin, who's up against 3. Does have an incendiary and a smoke, but the weapon 5-7 not particularly great. He's gonna walk all the way back, trying to hold on to those nades at the very least, and the armor to bring it into the next round because there's practically nothing to be done here. The rounds are already lost. Base Masters, they achieved double digits and are now sitting 3 rounds away from closing out the map and winning their first Inferno of the season.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel really good for CCG right now. In terms of standing points, I believe Base Masters, they are currently sitting at 39th place, a bit above CCG there, and CCG who are currently placed at 48. They have more losses than Base Masters right now. So in terms of performance and statistics this season, Base Master is doing a bit better than CCG. But that could have changed if they just won this match. Well, the match is not over yet. The scoreline is still like very much comebackable. It's a word that I use. It doesn't exist, I know, but they can make a comeback if Face It will just not bug us out every time and let us watch it peacefully. But they are stacking up all towards B side right now. It could work wonderfully or it could be a disaster because we see every member from the side of base masters are headed towards that B side. Immediately, Colin's gonna be found out. A quick boost to find a headshot, and the flashes come through. CCG blinded out. They're gonna be able to get one freehand, but immediately all the trades come through, and it's gonna be a quick round, quick rush, and a quick barrage of deaths. 11th round secured for base masters there. And CCG now only 2 rounds away from losing this map to them.
They finally got a full arsenal to work with. This round could be their do or die moment. It actually is their do or die moment. They win this, they, well, at least fight to see another day. They lose this, they're practically done for in this map, in this day. So this is a big one right here. Some money saved up for base masters as well. So even if they lose, they should have another round in them with the rifles across the board. No op purchased in for the side of base masters. Understandably so, it's not as easy to implement it in on an offense strategy. But Trahan does have his online, and he's currently stacked over towards long over at the A side, but walks back slowly. Timing could be a little bit difficult, but the bombs all the way back. CCG, they're still taking their time with this. Jenny has drawn first blood. That's a good pick. Base Masters, who were already really slow, now further slowed down. But AKB is looking to speed things up a bit. He gets the first. Looking for the second. Almost caught it. Fearless Beetle barely surviving that fight with just 1 HP. And at this point, once again, Base Masters, they stay their positioning has not changed much. They have exactly the same amount of control as they had before, which was two players over towards banana, no control over towards the A side. So they lost two players and got absolutely nothing out of it. CCG, they're going to be pretty happy with that, but with only one player to defend the B side, that might make things a tad bit more complicated. Kraken, he's starting to feel the pressure. He's heard the players. They've made their way onto the site already. The bomb should go down with ease in the final 5 seconds, apparently. There's nothing CCG can do about it. Kraken, he's back. Gets the nice little headshot through the smoke onto Kaneki. It's going to leave two behind. Molotov finally fades away. Did a decent amount of damage onto Kraken, actually. The Fearless Beetle, well, he falls. All that was needed was one single shot. Two defuse kits still online, so they do have a little bit of extra time to work with, but they're gonna have to move eventually. Treehan gets the first. The trade comes through onto the final one, and Colin gets the frag. Defuse kit online on Treehan, and they get the defuse done. That's gonna be fifth on board for CCG, and they hold on for dear life.
They do, but their defenses are now working, but they still need to work a little bit more. I feel like they're giving away the banana control too much, which is why Base Master has so much map control. But if a proper B execution is done once again with proper utilities and such, then the B will be very hard to defend it out. As we already saw what happened in the previous few rounds, where they used the flashes and the mollies to zone out CCG from that B site and take control of that area completely. And if CCG are not able to control that banana space, then it's gonna keep on happening. But this time, it's gonna be different, as we see two members from CCG aggressive towards that uh, banana, and they're gonna be able to take the control of the area. Manti is very low. He's gonna swap out the op with his teammate, which is gonna be a good decision. Banana still controlled by CCG. Colin falling a bit low here. They do have extra set of smokes to block off any potential push or rushes coming through, but they don't have much utility to burn anymore, as there's a lot of time left on the clock. And the rushes come through. The nade will land, but there were two people rushing him. Again, face it being a bit buggy today. Apologies for that, as we lost the visual contacts as we're trying to connect back into the game. Inflict, I believe you are in the game, so please carry on.
CCG is still holding on. They do have the man advantage to work with. It's a 5 versus 4. The bomb has made its way across banana, but there are still only two attackers. But they have gotten Kraken, who was the lone defender on the site. Four players of CCG, they're gonna be rushing towards the B side, but the bomb should go down before that even happens. But problem is, base matches, they only have two players on side. The rest of them are still trying to make their way across from the A side towards B. One of the players has already made their way onto banana. Mantis holding on, gets called, and that's one, but the trade comes through. Mantis got two kills before falling down. Fearless Beetle gets both the players onto the side. The remaining two players are both towards banana. One of them has already gone down. They're baiting the players out with the defuse. Now Fearless Beetle has hopped onto it as well. And there's absolutely nothing the final player, AK Beast, can do as the defuse comes through in the 6th round on board for CCG. They're holding Base Masters just away from the final round that they need to put on the map point. It's absolutely fascinating this round how it went down. I mean, but there were two players on or towards banana. It was sort of a gamble actually by base masters, and it almost worked out as well. Only one CT for the side of CCG. He got picked out, and the bomb got planted. Unfortunately, the backup from the side of base masters, it did not arrive as fast as they had hoped for. So it all came down to just the two players who were defending the side from within, and as soon as they fell, the round was practically done and dusted. But now the economy broken down as well. Base Masters, they do have a couple of rifles to work with, but it's not looking as great. CCG.
Oh, I was muted the whole time. Oh well. I was saying that CCG they're onto the chase right now for the equalizer. It's not that far away. It's not impossible, but the numbers are still huge. All they have to do is just hold the fort down. As long as they can do that without losing a lot of members every single round, should be it. But CCG this time lose two members to a forced buy here from the terrorists. They're gonna be able to take one more down. CCG needs to deny this plant, but AKB still gets it. Anyways, that's four for him. Can he get the fifth? Almost acing it out. CCG, they need to be more careful. If they keep losing members like that to try and defend these sites, as I was mentioning before, they're not going to be able to afford weapons for a longer period of times. And it just keeps happening again and again. And base masters, they're going to lose that round, but they've made it so close. 7 rounds, seventh round for CCG, but very close one that.
Yeah, I mean, CCG, they got the round on board, but a really nice attempt from AKBs. They got a 4K there, almost had the ace as well. And okay, wait a second. Colin actually going for a purchase of the shotgun. Somewhat questionable, perhaps, but I can see it working out towards Banana particularly, and that's exactly where he's heading as well. He's probably going to be stationed at something at point blank range, looking for somebody to walk his way. But they do invest a little bit of fuel to keep the players away, at least for the time being. Push finally coming through, and the shotgun connects it onto one. No trade has come through just yet, but now base masters are aware of the problem that resides just across this small passage. They're gonna walk back, reevaluate their approach, and possibly attempt the A side from the looks of it. They're still taking their time, hoping that they can deal with Colin at the very least. Kaneki does get a kill onto Treehan, but the trade has come through CCG. They hold on to the man advantage. The shotgun has walked back, and AK Beast, he times it near perfectly. Colin picks up an AK and has spotted AK Beast out. Timing is going to be everything, and he gets another frag to his name. It's come down to 2 versus 4 now here, and Mantis does get the frag. Leaving 3 for CCG. The bomb is going to go down. Mantis extremely weak. We go for a double peek onto Fearless Beetle. He gets stuck into a corner, and Fate now in a 1 versus 2. Gets the frag onto Fearless Beetle. Last one alive is going to be Treehead, and he has the op online. Not the best weapon for a 1v1, but it relies a lot on the positioning here. Fate has absolutely no idea where Treehan is, but now he's heard the audio key and he gets the frag from behind. The timing doesn't work out for Treehan. He's caught with his pants down, and that's going to be map point finally secured for the side of Base Masters.
Yeah, it's always the same thing that's constantly happening, I believe, where CCG they're constantly facing challenges from one of the persons. It's either like, you know, like it's just one person always, like one person getting triple, one person getting quad kills, and that shouldn't be happening. Not in a map like Inferno, where you take these close combats, immediately someone should be taking your trade. And once like, you know they start killing, CCG should be able to take the trade immediately. This time CCG not going to be able to start the round out strong with only pistols and half buys in hand. They lose 3 members at the very beginning of the round, and last 2 persons, Colin and Kraken, with they both have weapons in their hands, so that's a good news. Colin hiding inside the smoke, but he comes out at very wrong time, and he's gonna be taken out. It's all down to Kraken. He gives away his position against the entire world. He has to get an ace clutch to keep CCG alive, which does feel like very impossible at this point, as he's gonna be caught off guard on a bad timing once again, and he's gonna be taken out. 13-7. Again, not the best Inferno score to end things with, and CCG again not finding any values on this map either, as now things look very, very dull for them in this season. They have 10 losses to their name now with this one, and only 3 wins in the season so far, and I believe we have only one more game left.
No, there are quite a few games left, I believe. I believe there were 14 to be played, so there might be 4 more games to be played.
14?
This was the 10th, 14 in total, yes. So
Oh,
CCG,
this
I
was
mean,
the 13th number of game. This was the 13th, I believe.
no, the start line was 3 to 6 before this, so this makes it 10 in total. But
Okay,
however,
okay.
CCG, their run is going to be a tad bit more difficult now. Uh, to make it into the playoffs. I'm not entirely sure if it's going to be possible at this point, but we still cannot lose hope. It's not completely out of their hands. It might come down to the round deficit as well, round differential as well, if they're able to win out their next games at the very least. But we're gonna have to wait and see if that happens, because realistically speaking, they've had moments where they've played extremely well. They've had games where they got things close consistently and they showed progress, they showed improvement. But there have also been games where unfortunately it just never stuck around out. Like last game, and it just was not close. But this one, again, they showed promise, they showed resistance, they showed resilience. Most importantly, especially in the first half, after having such a bad start, they were able to pull some rounds together. But in the end, the scoreline, it just did not go their way. We're gonna have to wait and see if they're able to make some progress and win out some games over the course of the next few. But for today, that is going to be it for everybody on here on the broadcast and for CCG. We'll hopefully be seeing you next week. Make sure you guys do follow our socials to keep up to date about when the matches are happening. But until then, this is going to be Inflict alongside Zane and Apcon signing off.